んな人生にいびつな涙流しながら臆病で繊細な産声なと思うか鮮明になっていくモノクロの夜を越えたなら冷え切った感情もまた動き出すでしょう明日へ
IAVT, or IA Visual Tracks Colorful, is a Vita rhythm game that released in 2015. It lived a fairly normal life for a rhythm game of its era. It released, sold pretty well, even receiving a greatest hits release eventually, and then quietly faded into the background, which makes it the perfect game for me to cover here. I only discovered this game in 2018 by accidentally stumbling across a video of this game on YouTube. I was intrigued because, well, look at it. The lines, the bizarre music videos, the strange animations, something about this game felt kind of like otherworldly? Something about it just sort of felt a bit off. I only had one course of action. I had to buy the game myself to see what it's like. I ordered the game off of Amazon and waited patiently. Eventually, the night came and it arrived. I grabbed the game and sprinted up the stairs like the goblin that I am and tore into the package, and... nothing. The envelope was completely empty. No IA, no visual tracks. Not even an invoice in the package. After calling Amazon and getting my money back, I had to make a choice. Do I order it online again and risk getting another empty envelope? Or do I create a Japanese PSN account on my Vita TV and buy the game digitally? Do I simply wait a few weeks? Or do I completely disable an entire console I own in a short-sighted attempt to play one single video game? Once the game finished downloading, I finally got to try my hand at a new Vocaloid rhythm game. I was enjoying the game, but one thing kept nagging at me the entire time. See this thing? That's the reticle. It's what catches the notes that head into the circle, but why? There's already a large circle that the notes are heading into, and the outside edge of it is still the center point. So why bother with a reticle that spins around the circle wildly? Certainly, there's better ways of doing this. I needed an answer. Eventually, I dug up some old trailer footage and made some interesting discoveries. Some songs have clearly been cut, such as this one with the Running Man, and several songs have either been cut or had their music videos changed so much that I just don't recognize them anymore. The trailer theme, called See the Lights, doesn't even appear in the final game. I have no idea if it was even planned, but I would have killed to see a music video this amazingly bad in-game. However, that was all small stuff in comparison to the biggest change in the game. The reticle had to be moved manually, as opposed to the automatic system in the full game. This mechanic, on top of seeming like a complete and total nightmare, was the reason why the game had its signature track system. So that leaves the question, what happened to it? I've read some speculation online, and I can't seem to find the thread where people were discussing this, so keep in mind this is entirely based on my memory and speculation, but I've heard that the playtesters of the game in Japan absolutely hated the beta with the separate control of the reticle, preferring games like Project Diva that let you focus on just keeping in time with the song. And so the game was reworked. Considering the game's release date is listed in the trailer as 2014, we know the game only came out in 2015, we can assume it was delayed to fix the issues with the track system, which also sort of killed a big part of what made the game unique. Honestly, this game must have been a nightmare for its developers. Speaking of which, this game was developed by Marvelous, a company I've actually covered in the past. These are the same guys that developed Bakumatsu Rock, which is a game that I loved. However, it shares several flaws with that game despite coming out after Bakumatsu Rock. There's no wrong note status, mashing buttons is still a viable option to clear or even perfect some songs. There's also no bad timing status to drop combo, although there still is a safe status, which confuses my inner Diva player, because it still maintains a combo, unlike in Project Diva. Much like in Bakumatsu Rock, the only way to drop combo is to just not hit the button, As far as IA goes, the no bad timing thing is likely a leftover from the old style of gameplay, but the lack of any punishment for literally mashing buttons haphazardly is inexcusable, especially since it's happened twice in a row. Another general issue from Bakumatsu Rock that this game carried over was its lack of hit sounds unless there's a note present. No jamming along to noteless parts of the songs like other rhythm games offer. And because IA's beat maps aren't as exact as Bakumatsu Rock's, the missing hit sounds in a song can be more noticeable than it was before, meaning this issue was actually made worse. This game also has no fail condition, just like Bakumatsu Rock. The game doesn't punish you for just walking away and letting the game play itself. All of these complaints aren't to say that there's nothing good here, but I think it's important to highlight that Marvelous has made the same mistakes twice in the same genre, and both really close together. They have the potential to make some absolutely amazing rhythm games, but they keep falling just short, which is probably why their games never really have large fan bases in the same ways that others do, like Project Diva or Osu or whatever else. Let's talk about some of the good stuff. The song list is absolutely fantastic. It features plenty of songs from the producer Gene, creator of the Kaguru project, and has songs from other popular creators, Niru, Kikuo, Mafu Mafu, Polyphonic Branch, and a whole bunch more. It's a well-rounded list with plenty of different styles, and luckily the songs are fun to play because, well, the rhythm game mechanics are fun. The game is mostly responsive feeling, and hit sounds add just enough kick when they need to. A major improvement over Bakumatsu Rock is the fact that the game actually tracks full combos. It's a great feeling to look over a song list and see a ton of like gold crowns or double S's or whatever shimmering, and I'm glad that this game finally lets you replicate that feeling. The colorful mechanic is great. Basically, these rainbow notes get mixed in with the others. To hit these notes, you just have to hit any of the face buttons. The catch is that these notes' timings matter far more than any regular note. Depending on your timing, the ring around the reticle will fill in different amounts, and once you hit a colorful section, marked in red on the song's timeline, the reticle expands and you get a score bonus based on how much you fill the reticle. If you got a cool on every single colored note, you get 100%, and you get a 2-time score bonus during the colorful section. The bonus decreases as your percentage goes down. This mechanic not only sets IAVT apart from other rhythm games, but it also keeps each section of the song feeling interesting, as there's more to watch out for than just the correct buttons to press. Another mechanic that sets IAVT apart is its line system. The notes travel along the lines, and while this was a crutch from the old design of the game, in a small handful of maps, these things get really interesting. Most of the good examples come from the DLC, but some are present in the base game. Occasionally, the lines decide to fuck your shit up, either by spinning around the circle or morphing into different shapes and interweaving with each other, sometimes with notes still on them. Some of this game's layouts can be nightmarish, especially since the reticle is automatically controlled, so trying to focus on it will definitely fuck you up. The damn thing loves to fly around randomly at a moment's notice. Now that we've covered the good stuff, I think it'd be good to cover what this game in particular does wrong. It drops inputs occasionally, normally at least once a song. It's hard to say if it's my Vita TV or just the game that's doing it, but Bakumatsu Rock didn't have this issue, so I can only assume that part of it is the game. Another issue that seems pretty minor at first is that the game only has 3 difficulties. It feels like it holds certain songs back from being as difficult as they could have been, and offers no middle-of-the-road alternative to play for some of the more difficult songs later in the game. It's either you choose normal, which feels almost too easy, or you choose hard, which may be too difficult for some players to transition between on some songs, and on others it feels like there's no more difficult alternative to really challenge yourself on some of the early game songs. Sadly, one of the biggest letdowns from this game is its OP. While the song featured is very good, being Inner Arts by Gene, the music video to go along with it is absolutely terrible. It has some good moments here or there, but overall it looks unfinished. IA has no animations other than walking and blinking, which still manages to look terrible. The video is also ridiculously long. Where other games will play maybe a minute-long section of their main song, IA just lets the entire music video play. All 4 minutes of it. And when you finally get to play it in-game, it features the exact same music video. It would have made more sense to only include about, maybe half of the music video for the opening, and then have the in-game version be the full song. That way getting to hear the full version of the fantastic opening theme felt like a treat, rather than just seeing the same thing you've already seen. The music video would still be bad, but this would be at least one of the issues solved. Unfortunately, Inner Arts isn't the game's only issue with music videos, though. The music videos are all over the place in terms of quality. Some videos use their Nico Video music videos, and some use brand new 2D animations. Each category here has its own set of problems. The Nico videos sometimes are just extremely low resolution for some reason. They display in this small box on the screen, and it feels really lazy. And sometimes the music videos barely count as music videos, as there's just one still image sitting on the screen. Sometimes it moves, sometimes it doesn't. The brand new videos also have their own share of issues. They all use the default IA design. I'm not gonna say that I dislike IA's design, but it really doesn't fit some of these songs. Headphone Actor is probably the biggest misstep they made as far as this issue goes. Instead of giving us the original music video, which features some absolutely fantastic character designs, we get a new video which features default IA doing the same thing from the original music video? If they really wanted to change the music video, they should have included it in the third style of video. The third style of the video is where things get a little weird. The third style is 3D animation. There's only a small handful of these, and they're all marked on the song select. They even have customizable costumes. However, these videos look, well, it's no Project Diva, that's for sure. IA has no shaders, her hair is a disaster, and the model moves very mechanically. It's painfully obvious that this wasn't made using mocapped animation, and was instead done by hand by an inexperienced team. They did a fair enough job for what they had, but the question that's always burning in the back of my head is, why can the Gumi game afford mocap, but IA can't? As far as I can tell, this question has no answer. It's best not to think about it. Moving on from the negatives, let's get more specific. Let's take a deeper look at the songs in the song list. Now, this game has a ton of songs, almost 60 built in, with another 15 or so added as DLC. I'm only going to cover some of my favorites. The songs by Gene are easily the highlight of the song list. These include Headphone Actor, Children Record, Imagination Forest, and plenty of others. But I wanted to focus on just one in particular. Show the Comedy to Us by Gene and Ishifuro is my favorite song in the Gene category. It's extremely catchy, combined with a distinct IA tuning style, which makes it a song I can enjoy no matter how many times I play it. And that beat map, that fucking beat map is so good. It's the exact kind of song this game is built for, and god damn is it fun. Chiri Chiri Juso is a song that I was incredibly surprised to see in here. Kikuo is known for his extremely dark subject matter, hiding in really good songs, and this one's no exception. He has some incredible songs like You're a Useless Child and Gomenne Gomenne, and I'm happy to see his work finally represented in a mainstream rhythm game. Rebirth is a song that's mapped extremely well into the game. The map follows the beat of the song very accurately, and hitting those colorful notes on time and getting the harder kick from the hit sounds feels good every time. Also, the music video's cool as fuck. Bye Bye Superstar is a song that I get stuck in my head every time I play it, which is pretty often because the song sounds really good. The beat map is almost 1-to-1, which is really nice to see out of a song so early in the list. Japan Overpass Under Our Plan is the shortest song with the longest name, and its contents are absolutely wonderful. It's a fully animated video with great bits of animation all throughout it. It's really good enough to be the opening of the game, honestly. Too bad it isn't. Unfortunately, it's only a minute and a half, so it's not really the most substantial song.
自動車も自爆も未来は大切なくて手を手は空
Falling Apart is the exact opposite of Japan Overpass. This song is 7 minutes. 7 minutes and 37 seconds. Come on, guys, really? Couldn't you have, cut it down a little bit? Just a little? No? Okay. I'm sorry for liking You has an amazing music video. 10 out of 10. Would get distracted again. World Calling is another song by Jean, and has the same feeling to the video as Japan Overpass, except this time it's much longer. Definitely a welcome addition. The main song list ends with the final song from the Kaguru project, Summertime Record. It's honestly the perfect ending to the game. I couldn't have hoped for a better song to round out the list. It even gets its own really well done 3D music video. The game doesn't end there though. It has DLC song packs, so here are some highlights from those. Yobanashi Deceive is a really amazing addition from these packs. The high energy and fast beat is a little awkward for the game's mechanics to keep up with, but the beat map design more than makes up for it. In the same pack, the song Magic Hour by Out of Service made the cut. The song's jazzy style helped to diversify the genre choice being offered. The hard mode map may be a bit easy, but I still find myself playing it every time I turn the game on. Niru, a great producer responsible for some really amazing songs over the years, also has a song in the DLC with their song Overclock. Oh, by the way, it's hard as fuck, so good luck with it. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is this game's unique approach to map design. The maps are about more than just what button to press when, but also about following the buttons as they head across lines heading towards your reticle. For a good majority of the game, this is basically a non-issue. However, for one of the DLC songs, this becomes kind of a huge issue. One of the hardest songs in the DLC is Longing Doke by Back On. The inputs are wild and inconsistent, and the lines form a complex web that can be incredibly hard to follow. This song creates this strange scenario that's very unique to this game, where you can't predict which input will be the next one, and you also have next to no clue as to where it's gonna come from. So that's IAVT. In the end, it makes some missteps, and I've been trying to figure out exactly what I want to say about it for a few years now. I've been through a lot in these past few years. Lost friends, changed jobs, picked up new hobbies, changed majors, and yet this game has always been at the back of my head. Kinda takes a special kind of game to stick with me for this long, and IAVT Colorful is exactly that kind of special game to me. This game is a treat to Vocaloid and rhythm game fans alike, and I highly recommend it.